unit point or the toe resistance. That is, the RP is nothing but the resistance which is happening at the point, toe point. That is nothing but the RP. Okay, so your static formula, by using the static formula, if we are calculating the ultimate load of the pile, then we have to add both the surface part, the load which is transferring from the surface part, and the load which is transferring from the your toe part. Okay, so that is calculated by multiplying area into the resistance at the surface part and area into the resistance which is offered at the toe part. Okay, so this is nothing but the ultimate loading, ultimate bearing capacity. This is how we calculate the ultimate bearing capacity by using the static formula. So here the factor of safety for the static formula, the factor of safety, if you are calculating the safe load, okay, if you want to calculate the safe load or the allowable load, what you have to do, you have to divide, that is QU, ultimate bearing capacity, divided by the factor of safety. Okay, here QA, that is allowable load. Your allowable load can be calculated by the ultimate load divided by factor of safety. So for this factor of safety, if you are using the static formula, you have to use a factor of safety of 2.5 or 3. Okay, or use between them 2.5 to 3. You can use the factor of safety if you are calculating the allowable load by using the static formula. So in this static formula, again you are calculating for different types of soil. The static formula, there in the dynamic formula, you calculated the formula if you are using different types of hammers. Here in the static formula, for different types of soils, you're going to differ your formula. So what is that? What is the thing we are adding here? Is, see, for a cohesive soil, point bearing is generally neglected for individual pile action, since it is negligible as compared to the friction resistance. The unit skin friction may be taken equal to the shear strength of the soil multiplied by the reduction factor. Okay, so here what happens, if you are having a group of piles, okay, sorry, you will be having a group of piles here. You will be having a group of piles. So here, what is the in the cohesive soil? In the cohesive soil, some of the friction, okay, some of the friction resistance will be there. So there, what we will going to do? Here, what we will going to do is, Rashim, so Rashim, so where is the Rashim, so here? See, here for cohesive soil, we will be multiplying. What we are doing is, we are neglecting the frictional resistance which is offered on a single pile. Okay, some of the friction will be friction, or the friction will be the friction resistance will be offered on each pile. Okay, on single pile, but we are neglecting that frictional resistance offered on the single pile. But what we are taking the frictional resistance upon the group pile. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do is, that's why we are taking the average skin friction. Okay, we are taking the average skin friction along the length of the pile. We will be taking the average skin friction. We are not taking what is the skin friction acting on each pile. We are not taking the skin friction, what can be acting on each pile. We will be taking the average friction which can be happened upon the group of pile. Okay, so that can be taken and it can be multiplied with the one reduction factor, that is nothing but the alpha or m. In some of the textbook it is alpha, and some of the textbook it is m. Okay, that is nothing but the reduction factor. We are multiplying it with the reduction factor. So what we are doing in a cohesive soil, in the place of RF, for a cohesive soil, we are putting it as a alpha into C bar. Okay, that is nothing but the average skin friction, and RP is equal to CP into NC, where NC is equal to 9. For the cohesive soil, we are keeping NC is equal to 9. So if we substitute these two values in the equation, what happens? QUP is equal to MC bar AS plus 9 CP into AP. Okay, so this is the this for the cohesive soil, we are applying one extra part, that is the friction resistance. That friction resistance we are not taking for the each pile, we are taking for the group of piles. Okay, we are considering for the group of piles, we are not considering it for the each pile. So while considering the group of pile, we are multiplying one factor, a reduction factor called alpha. Okay, we are multiplying for the surface skin friction, and also for the unit for the toe resistance and the skin resistance, we are multiplying one constant, that is alpha. So that is replaced by alpha into C bar and CP into NC, where NC is equal to 9 for cohesive soil. So your QUP, your equation will be written as M C bar AS, or M also you can write, or alpha also you can write, alpha C bar AS plus 9 CP into AP, where it is substituted to this equation. RF and RP is substituted to the equation QUP. Then what is mean by CP and C bar? So here C bar is nothing but the average undried cohesion along the length of the pipe. That is because of the cohesion soil, because of the we are determining it for the cohesive soil, some cohesion will be there in the soil towards the pile. So that average cohesion along the length of the pile, how much length of the pile you will be having, up to that whatever the cohesion acting on the your soil. So that is nothing but the average undrained cohesion along the length of the pile, where CP is the average undrained cohesion acting at the tip of the pile. Okay. So as we are taking resistance C. Here, this is the different part. This is the surface part and this is the toe part. So whatever the cohesion acting along the surface of the pile. Okay, so that cohesion we are taking as C bar, that is average undrained cohesion along the length of the pile. How much length it may be, the surface you can get up to how much length the pile will be, up to that you will going to get the cohesion. Oh, down. So next you will be having cohesion at the toe part. So that CP is nothing but the cohesion at the toe part. Okay, and alpha you can alpha or M, which is called as reduction factor. So this reduction factor you can take it from 0.4 to 1. Okay, you can take up to the value ranges from, as it is a constant or it is a factor, you are going to take it from 0.4 to 1. Okay, so this is the static formula which you are going to use for determining the ultimate bearing capacity. If the same method, as I told you, if you want to determine the ultimate load or the allowable load, what you are going to do? You are going to take QUP or the ultimate load divided by factor of safety. As they have given factor of safety, you can use it for, you can use up to 3 to 2.5. But as per the IS code, they are going to tell you for skin friction, you have to use different factor of safety, and for toe friction, you have to use different factor of safety. This is depend on the, this formula is depend on the IS code, but IS code holds that this is depends on the static formula, but IS code has differentiated the static formula in different method. That is, you have to use different factor of safeties for a skin part and also for the toe part. If you are using the factor of safety, you have to use differently for different parts. Like that, the IS code has been changed this static formula into different methods. Okay, so this is the static formula which you have to use for determining the ultimate bearing capacity and also the your allowable load. Okay, to calculate the allowable load, we can use by using the IS method and by using the static method. Got it, guys? Guys, all of you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, we will see that what we have to do for these problems which someone is attending, no? So we will see, as some of you have given the suggestion that we can use the Google Meet. So we will check with that. So can we use the Google Meet or not? Once we will take this problem, I'll take to the principal. So what he will tell, and I'll take the permission to use the Google Meet. If he is okay, we will use that also and we will see what happens next. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, guys. So for today, I'll stop here. So in tomorrow class, we will continue in the next class. Okay. We will see the pile load test.